The figures are unbelievable because there's no comparative, and it is important to put comparisons in there. Under the last year of the Labour government, 3 million summonses were issued, and actually since April this year and under this government, council tax collection rates have gone up, and even since April this year it's about a 3% increase. So I don't think that their figures really stack up. I don't think they show the true position, and they also ignore the fact that we're doing this to get down that welfare bill that rose to about £4 billion under Labour, while council tax doubled, and that's costing every family in this country about £180 a year. We had to get it under control, but we have also put in the protections there for pensioners and the most vulnerable people, and councils should be doing that.
What the opposition is saying, of course, is that you don't know the scale of the problem.
Well, they don't know the scale of the problem in terms of this survey. That's the point. They've gone to a very small number of councils. Official statistics show that actually council tax intake has gone up since April this year, while this government has put a council tax freeze in to keep council tax and cost of living of that part of it down for hard-working families. So I think it is really important to get the comparative right, to remember what happened under the last government where council tax and the welfare bill doubled, and we're getting that under control whilst making sure councils have the ability and the money to protect the most vulnerable people, and pensioners being fully protected as well.
And yet there are stories of certain days of the week, queues of people outside magistrates' courts, which would suggest that with those vulnerable people the system is not working.
Well, there's 2 points I'd make to that. Firstly, as I say, under the last year of Labour there were 3 million summonses issued, so that puts it in perspective where they're now talking about 100,000 this year. But also, and importantly, the second point is councils should be protecting the most vulnerable. We put extra money into the system on top of the 3.7 billion. We put extra money in, so they could protect the most vulnerable. Many councils, as you said, haven't charged anybody extra. Those who are charging have got to make sure it's appropriate and proportionate to their area. Councils have increased reserves this year by £19 billion. They should be using that money to be more efficient so they can make sure they follow their duty of care to the most vulnerable people in our society.